Christocentric Mysticism. Christocentric mysticism is a spiritual path that places Christ at the center of the mystical experience. It is a profound and transformative journey that seeks to encounter the divine through a deep connection with Jesus Christ. We will delve into the world of Christocentric mysticism, exploring its definition, historical background, and the role of Christ in the mystical encounter. We will also examine the practices and contemplative techniques that facilitate the union with the divine within this tradition. Furthermore, we will discuss the transformative impact of Christocentric mysticism on personal and collective spiritual awareness growth and its integration into everyday life. Join us as we embark on a journey to uncover the insights and wisdom offered by Christocentric mysticism, ultimately embracing the mystical path with Christ at the center. Defining Christocentric mysticism. Christocentric mysticism, in its simplest terms, is understood as a spiritual approach that places Christ at the center of one's mystical experiences and journey. It is a belief system emphasizing the profound and transformative connection between the human soul and the divine through Christ. In Christocentric mysticism, the focus is not only on the pursuit of personal enlightenment or oneness with the universe, but on the intimate relationship and union with Christ. It is a path that seeks to deepen one's understanding of Christ's presence in all aspects of life and to experience a transformative encounter with the divine through communion with Jesus. Historical background and origins. Christocentric mysticism has its roots in early Christianity, with influential figures such as St. John of the Cross and St. Teresa of Avila contributing to its development in the 16th century. However, its origins are traced back to Jesus Christ's teachings and his disciples' experiences. Throughout history, Christian mystics have paved the way for Christocentric mysticism by exploring and articulating their encounters with the divine through Christ. Their writings and teachings have provided a rich foundation for believers seeking a deeper and more intimate relationship with Christ. Today, Christocentric mysticism resonates with individuals seeking a spiritual path that embraces the Christian faith while delving into the mysteries of the divine presence in their lives. Christocentric mysticism. 1. The path of inner transformation. At the heart of Christocentric mysticism is the belief that true spiritual awareness and transformation occur within the depths of one's being. It is a journey that invites individuals to examine their thoughts, beliefs, and desires and surrender them to Christ's love's transformative power. This path involves self-reflection, meditation, and contemplation, guiding individuals to cultivate a deep awareness of their connection with the divine. Through this inner exploration, they gain insight into their nature and align their will with God's will, allowing for spiritual awareness and personal transformation. 2. Embracing the mystery of Christ's presence in Christocentric mysticism, believers are encouraged to embrace the mystery of Christ's presence in their lives. It recognizes that the divine encounter is not something to be fully comprehended or controlled, rather experienced with awe and wonder. By surrendering the need for certainty and control, individuals open themselves to the mystical experience of encountering Christ in unexpected ways. This involves being open to divine revelation, recognizing the presence of Christ in others, and finding meaning and purpose in the ordinary moments of life. Through embracing the mystery of Christ's presence, individuals deepen their connection with the divine, finding solace, guidance, and transformation within the mystical journey. 3. The role of Christ in the mystical experience. 1. Christ as the divine mediator. Christocentric mysticism sees Christ as the divine mediator between humanity and God. It is through Christ that individuals can access and experience the divine presence. Christ serves as the bridge for communion and union with the divine. By placing Christ at the center of the mystical experience, believers recognize the significance of Christ's role as the embodiment of divine love and wisdom. They seek to cultivate a personal relationship with Christ, relying on Him as their spiritual journey's guide, teacher, and source of divine grace. Four, unveiling the divine union, Christocentric mysticism, and contemplative practices. 1. Contemplative prayer. As a gateway to divine encounter, contemplative prayer holds a significant place within Christocentric mysticism as a means to encounter the divine presence. In the stillness of contemplation, individuals open themselves to listen and commune with Christ, allowing for a deeper connection and understanding of the divine. Contemplative practices such as silent prayer, meditation, and reflection on sacred texts provide a space for individuals to enter into a state of receptive openness to the divine. Through these practices, believers can experience the transformative power of divine encounters, leading to spiritual awareness growth and a deepening relationship with Christ. 2. Sacraments and rituals in Christocentric mysticism. Sacraments and rituals are vital in Christocentric mysticism as tangible expressions of the divine encounter. Through the sacraments, believers experience the transformative power of Christ's presence in their lives. Individuals participate in the sacred mysteries through the Eucharist, baptism, or other sacraments and encounter Christ tangibly. These rituals remind of Christ's redemptive work and allow believers to experience divine grace and communion with the divine. In summary, Christocentric mysticism offers a spiritual framework that places Christ at the center of the mystical journey. Through inner transformation, embracing the mystery of Christ's presence, recognizing Christ as the divine mediator, and engaging in contemplative practices and sacraments, individuals can deepen their connection with the divine and experience the transformative power of Christ's love and grace. 5. Christocentric mysticism and the transformation of self. 1. Surrendering the ego and embracing Christ-centered identity in Christocentric mysticism. True transformation begins with surrendering our egos and embracing a Christ-centered identity. It is a transformative process that invites us to let go of our self-centered desires and instead align ourselves with the teachings and example of Christ. By surrendering our egos, we open ourselves to a deeper connection with God and allow His presence to guide and shape our lives. In this surrender, we discover our true selves and find purpose and fulfillment. 2. Healing and wholeness through Christ's love. One of the profound insights gained through Christocentric mysticism is the understanding that wholeness is found through experiencing Christ's love. As we open ourselves up to His unconditional love and grace, we find the strength to confront and heal from our past wounds, insecurities, and brokenness. In Christ, we discover a source of healing that goes beyond superficial remedies, offering deep restoration to our minds, hearts, and souls. Through this healing, we experience a profound sense of wholeness and find the courage to navigate life's challenges with resilience and grace. 6. The impact of Christocentric mysticism on personal and collective spiritual awareness growth. 1. Deepening faith and spiritual awareness. Christocentric mysticism profoundly impacts personal and collective spiritual awareness growth by deepening our faith in spiritual awareness. By centering our lives on Christ, we cultivate a relationship with Him beyond mere religious practices. We develop a living, dynamic faith that permeates every aspect of our being, guiding our thoughts, actions, and interactions. Through this deepened faith, we gain a heightened spiritual awareness that allows us to see God's presence in sacred spaces and the mundane moments of everyday life. 2. Enhancing compassion and love for others. Embracing Christocentric mysticism also enhances our capacity for compassion and love towards others. As we immerse ourselves in the love of Christ, we begin to see others through His eyes. We recognize their inherent worth and value, and our hearts are moved to extend compassion, kindness, and understanding. This deepened sense of love and compassion ripples out into our relationships and communities, creating a transformative impact on the world around us. Through Christ-centered love, we become agents of positive change and catalysts for healing and reconciliation. 7. Integrating Christocentric mysticism into everyday life. 1. Practices for living Christ-centered lives. Integrating Christocentric mysticism into everyday life involves adopting practices that help us live with Christ at the center. This can include regular prayer and meditation, engaging in scriptural study and reflection, and participating in acts of service and worship. Additionally, mindfulness and self-reflection in our routines allow us to stay attuned to God's presence and guidance throughout the day. By consciously integrating these practices into our lives, we create space for Christ's transformative power to shape our thoughts, actions, and priorities. 2. Nurturing relationships with Christ and others. Another vital aspect of integrating Christocentric mysticism into everyday life is nurturing our relationships with Christ and others. Cultivating a deep personal relationship with Christ requires intentional effort, such as setting aside dedicated time for prayer and worship and actively seeking His guidance in our decisions. Additionally, connecting with others who share our faith journey can provide essential support, accountability, and the opportunity for mutual growth. Investing in these relationships creates a supportive community that encourages and strengthens our Christ-centered lives. 8. Conclusion. Embracing the mystical path with Christ at the center. In conclusion, Christocentric mysticism offers profound insights and transformative potential for those seeking a deeper connection with Christ and a more meaningful spiritual journey. Through surrendering our egos, experiencing Christ's love, and integrating practices that center our lives on Him, we unlock the power of true transformation and discover healing, wholeness, and purpose. This Christ-centered approach deepens our faith and spiritual awareness and enhances our capacity for compassion and love toward others. As we embrace the mystical path with Christ at the center, we embark on a journey of profound growth, depth, and divine encounter. In conclusion, Christocentric mysticism invites us to embark on a profound spiritual journey where Christ becomes the focal point of our mystical encounters. By embracing the divine union and integrating Christocentric practices into our daily lives, we can experience a deeper connection with the divine and nurture our spiritual growth. We can cultivate a Christ-centered identity and enhance our relationships with others by surrendering the ego, embracing Christ's love, and deepening our faith. As we conclude this exploration of Christocentric mysticism, let us continue to walk the mystical path with Christ at the center, finding solace, wisdom, and transformation in embracing His divine presence. Questions and answers. 1. What is Christocentric mysticism? Christocentric mysticism is a spiritual path that emphasizes the centrality of Christ in the mystical experience. It is a journey of deep connection and union with the divine through the person of Jesus Christ. 2. How does Christocentric mysticism differ from other forms of mysticism? While various mystic traditions seek union with the divine, Christocentric mysticism focuses explicitly on the person and teachings of Jesus Christ as the gateway to the mystical encounter. It places Christ at the center of the spiritual journey. 3. Are there specific practices associated with Christocentric mysticism? Christocentric mysticism involves contemplative practices such as prayer, meditation, and sacraments. These practices aim to cultivate a deeper connection with Christ, facilitate the mystical encounter, and nurture the growth of personal and collective spiritual awareness. 4. Can Christocentric mysticism be integrated into everyday life? Absolutely. Christocentric mysticism is not limited to solitary contemplation, but can be integrated into our daily lives. It involves living with a Christ-centered perspective, nurturing relationships with Christ and others, and embodying the wisdom and love encountered in the mystical experience.